Alrighty, we're going. We're live. Whoops. Let's see. A lot of things open here. Alright. I'll be getting to the boss in a bit. It's kind of the big thing I want to do today, but I kind of wanted to warm up with some object pools for bullets. Because that has some big performance implications. There's also a Discord you can join. There's a link in the on the channel page. So if you want to hang out or talk after the stream, etc., brand new Discord there. And that's about it. So I'm gonna get to object pools. I'm gonna basically work with this implementation. I think it's pretty close to what I want. It's just kind of interesting that this is not a max size. Oh, cool. There's no. Lose all the formatting. There's some other pre-made pools on the asset store, but I imagine they're way more involved than I want. It's interesting that it'll randomly pick from a number of instances. It would be nice if they were all parented under this. I guess, yeah. Sure, they need to be casted to game objects here. bullet, bullet, bullet. Player bullet. Let's see, bullet prefab. So instead, we'll get a an object cool. It would be nice if there was, if you could pass position and rotation. Let's see. Vector 2, 0. It's kind of crazy. I guess I can wrap these. Hey, Rain. Do a vector 3 position, quaternion rotation, and just call next object, then transform set position and rotation. Kinda tired and some stuff going on, so I had to take some extra naps today. But in general, just the end of the week has been kind of like, I don't know, I guess I'm pushing myself harder, working more, doing more kind of physical activities. Hey, Lunan, yeah, the build worked. I don't know if you saw my responses a little earlier. Let's say bullet. There we go. It's pretty cool. You've got firing in there and movement stuff. Well, I basically just started myself, so. Okay, I need to fix this reference now. Yeah, I saw the planets. That'll be cool. Get some procedural generation. Let's see here. think that's it. Let's see if this works. As big as you want. I'm not sure what your question is, though. Did I think I killed it. Oh, edges. I mean, first do the simplest thing and just prevent the player from exiting some size, and you can always change it. You could do it by adding constraints in the movement code, or you could do, and it's also some variation of constraining the movement code. So let's see, you need to change how bullets work. Let's see here. Let's see, invoke. I'm assuming this is an absolute time. I didn't. Are there edges? I mean, you all have to be more specific. Let's see here. This is probably good. But for some reason, they weren't showing up in the first place, which is kind of weird. Sure. Well, well, you learn a lot by doing things, so definitely. Oh, I didn't notice that last time. I was using arrow keys before. I guess they're the same. Now, if you're trying to do a 2D thing, I think with a rigid body you can constrain certain axes and you don't have to do any code. So maybe put a rigid body on it. Oh. We got a bunch of bullets here. I guess they're just not getting set to active. Yeah, I feel you. You just need to make sure all your rigid bodies are constrained. It's built into the rigid body stuff, so. Alright, so this object pool is not setting them to be active, which would be nice. I don't really want to have to do that myself. Kind of defeats the point. Well, this doesn't make a ton of sense. So created them all. And this should be getting them and setting them active, but they're not actually. What's going on? Oh, I'm the ones that are returned. I'm not actually creating them. I'm using the ones in the there. And then actually, I guess I don't have to do this if I'm creating it. It's going to be active by default. This is what I wanted. I'm going to have to fix this scene loading stuff soon. It takes way too long to start. Okay, here it goes. Oh. When is it ever destroyed? I don't think anything's destroying it anymore. Well, I did, but turned it off. I don't think the gun does anything. We've got well, yeah, it's this. Oh, I can also use a pool for sparks. But this should be working. There's no destroying. It's got a player bullet. There's no other logic on it. I think it's a car. Destroyed. Because it's possible something could be destroying it on bullet hit, but this doesn't make much sense. Now it's complaining about that. Well, if that does happen, if instance is null, at least we can't remove it because that will, because we're iterating over it. This will just continue. Alright, what now? They're totally getting destroyed. What the fuck is destroying them? Also, this pool is really dumb. I wouldn't get used to pasting code because that's really hard to read. It's probably better in Discord, but well, yeah, I mean, that's what you do. The problem is that means you have to instantiate every time. I replaced it with this, which just sets it to inactive, so it can be used in the pool again. So I wonder if I have to reset anything in the rigid body. Fubins, welcome back. So I'm concerned that the rigid body needs to be reset, but try and do that at least. Velocity equals. But that's not helping with the destroy part. I'm trying to think what other code would touch that. I guess I check to see if finish is getting called. Finish. Oh, I think it's actually the corridor. Oh, that's funny. I mean, they're rigid bodies, so they'll bounce off things. They should be disabled by then. That one. That's weird. No. not be doing any of this. They should all be hitting finish. Collision error. It's not an enemy bullet. So we do this. And it's hit. So we finish. Finish. How is this any different than before, where instead of setting active to false, I was destroying it? I don't understand. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Crazy special. What's that? I mean, if I go back to destroy and see if it behaves differently, I don't know why it would. Did I just call destroy before? I'm not even sure. This should be like destroy game object. I'm sure that's what I did. Spit it out, Lunin. You are right. Well, that's what you think. See, they don't bounce when they're destroyed. Alright, let's go back to... Run! Run uptown. Okay, let's try again. Time not important. Only life. Oh my god, it's still doing it. How is this happening? It's like the same code path. In one it's destroyed, in the other it is set inactive. And does the fact that it's already been invoked, I wonder if that's having an impact, like some weird side effect of using invoke. That would be crazy. I think so too, especially since I was logging it and it was not always getting called. I know it's not getting called. If it was getting called, the object would go away. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Look at that. No, not still doing it. That is crazy. All right, so if we know that it's not getting to finish, we can at least do this. Ah, well, no, it makes sense because we're reusing them. Okay, and it did seem like the first couple. Okay. If we're using object pools, we need to reset everything. That is a very good point. That and right after the first one, right. Okay. Yeah, this is just to prevent it from running more than once. And of course, the problem is if it's reusing them, then it needs to reset state before it can use it again. Luna, I appreciate that you're trying to help, but you're no Rye, I have to say. Kind of stating the obvious a little too much, but that's good. I mean, you're kind of exercising that same thing if you were writing the code, so it's probably good for you. How do I want to reset this thing? I guess I could send a reset message. I think reset's already a callback, though, right? Unity reset. Reset is called when user hits the reset button. function is only called in editor mode. Reset is most commonly used to give good default values in the inspector. Well, I guess, and it's really the same thing if I was to use it at runtime, so I'm sure it doesn't matter that I'm going to use it for something else. What else? This is, I guess, I mean, yeah, I guess I can do the rigid body thing too. Reset its velocity and all that. Object pool is going to have to instance reset message reset. Is that optional? I feel like that should really be optional, but whatever. I guess that's the kind of there. By requiring it by default, it's sort of trying to prevent people from. It's sort of a semi-type safety type kind of thing, but I'm using it like duck typing, so that should be it. We can move on. This was supposed to be simple. Just wanted object pooling. There we go. It's kind of weird though that it grows it if it's I don't know, this pool could use a lot more work. Maybe that was not actually, what am I looking for? Maybe this isn't actually absolute. It would just like, do you mean why is it taking so long to start play? No. No. Just give me the reference. Oh, Google auto-completed. Time, 2 seconds. In 2 seconds. So it is relative. Okay. I mean, I wish they would name it a little better so I didn't have to look that up. if you're asking about this, it's because Unity doesn't like instantiating a bunch of stuff at once. And it's loading all 3 sectors at once and all the objects. And so it just takes a long time. Did I misunderstand you? I don't know if I misunderstood. Yeah, I was just clarifying. There we go. So we have more bullets than we need, which is good because we want to fire a bunch really fast. So, as we use... Yeah, we don't even need 20 or however many I had. It's like probably half as many. And then the other thing was the corridor. That's what was destroying them. I was shooting into the corridor. If bullet. Can I call invoke bullet? Invoke? Yes, I can. Finish. Actually, it'd be cool to come up with like a standard way. I guess we could call it like release. But we have we call it, the switch has a method called release though. So something more. Release object or pool release. That sounds like we're releasing it from the pool. We're actually putting it back in the pool. I guess we call it repool. All right. Oh, I was going to show you something, Lunan. I guess I could show you when you come back. Does that mean you're back? Oops. Let's compare this. What a Ventic issue. You're supposed to be gone. Is not proving my point. $28.32. Yeah, Lunin, get with the times. Things are moving fast. We've got discords and all kinds of stuff. Okay, 50. Get back up to 50. 50. Okay. Man, this is hard to see the difference. I love how different this is from this counter. It's crazy. Why do you guys think that's not efficient? That's why people do object pools. It's not efficient to instantiate objects. It's very slow. That's why people do object pools, so when you create lots of things, you just reuse them. I don't know how that's not efficient to not create new things. The problem is I'm not actually seeing kind of the performance improvement that I was hoping for. And I can't tell if that is because it's still instantiating the sparks when it hits the wall. So I'm trying to shoot up here to see, and it doesn't drop as much. It's gone down to 46, 48. But this isn't much different. 48, 44. Low number of objects. Well, that's not what I'm worried about. And if it's instantiating, that is what's slow. I mean, it could be that the gun is not fast enough to really make a difference, so. So this is not really going lower than 46, 48. Yeah, I should have been trying it with the other faster one. And it's not low numbers, it's the rate. If you instantiate a bunch of stuff at once, Unity crashes like a lot of stuff. That's why we had to delay the explosions, because it's instantiating all the explosions, and it would do it at once with the cascading effect, and it would just bring Unity to a halt. 50. Super crazy. Oh, these aren't ever gonna get cleaned up though. Although I should probably test destroying because that might be part of it as well. Fire. I mean, I say all this, but I'm not actually seeing the data to support it now. What's it doing? Get back up. I can't compare it this low. Where did you get this? Send me a link. Yeah, it could be. Well, that's a bummer because I was trying to make it so that the FPS does not drop so much when you're shooting. And it seems to suggest, as well as what I just tried, doesn't mean it's going to help. But seeing shooting and destroying, yeah, we'll avoid garbage collection. Work. I mean, they can repurpose the bullets or have multiple pools. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like it might not be worth it. I was trying to get something out of some way to improve. I guess I should look at just profiling the shooting. Well, it's a bummer. It feels like a little bit of wasted time. I'm just gonna leave it like this so I can go back to it. Let's see. Just calls a method, but it lets you optionally lets you call it with a delay. So just kind of more convenient in terms of scheduling, so you don't have to like maintain a variable and have the update loop figure out when it's going to schedule actually calling it. It's like Unity should be able to take care of that, but it doesn't really have any other way to do it other than the reflection of using invoke and stuff like that. So it's kind of not necessarily performant, but we shall see where time is going into this. We'll run the profiler. I'm going to pull it out. sounds crazy to me, but SMG it up again, and then profile. What is others? See, it looks like there's a bump in whatever others is and physics. So I guess just having a bunch of rigid bodies getting force on them. What? Started with a controller. Crazy. So, I mean, this is interesting. So when a bullet instantiates its sparks, it contributes to 1.3% of total time processing. So that's not insignificant. So because it is a particle system, so I imagine that it actually takes up more time than a little sprite. So maybe what I should have done is done object pooling for the particle system, the sparks, instead of the bullets. There's obviously other stuff going on, but it doesn't seem like there's a single big thing here. It's weird that these individual things aren't really showing up. I guess they all add up to this. In some cases, up to almost 2%. But I mean, that's not significant enough to like be like a huge thing. It's just something to keep in mind. Like, I don't think it's worth to like go set up an object pool for this now, but I might at some point in the future. I'm just trying to see like why does it drop so much? Can you be more specific? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I was hoping I would get more consistency out of the sounds. Right? That's a very inconsistent triggering of the sounds. I mean, it's going in a pattern, but still. And I assumed it was because of the frame drop. This is the time that it's used in this frame, so that's so it might include multiple calls, so here it called it twice in that frame. Oh, I'll have to check that afterwards. Huh. Alright, I guess I'll get back to the boss stuff. So yeah, let's experiment with the overlay stuff though. Let's see, tiles. Textures. Standard. And see if we have a pretty fab for. Zero. Or 3. This needs to be 0. This needs to be 4. Okay. Okay, now I'll fix this. Get the texture in here. And let's see, is that what I would expect? Imagine them to not be as, they're certain straightened out because of the angle of the thing, but I guess we can always change it now. And potentially because of the stretching, we could double the resolution so that we can get a more accurate, sort of compensate for the thing. I don't know if Fubins is there. Fubins, are you back? Probably put a little bit of the grass texture at the top and have it kind of come off the side of the tops too. They are expensive to use at all, but I don't think it's a linear. It's more, the expense comes from using a particular buffer that's going to double the rendering time, more or less. And so using more decals isn't really going to increase it by a whole lot. So if we use decals at all, we might as well use them for a lot of stuff. So that's kind of the idea is, you know, we can kind of go back and forth using them for these transition tiles, but then we can also use them for this, and we could use them for some other stuff. So just kind of see what it's like using them for a while. Take a picture of this for Fubens. Yeah, it's not, but it's just interesting that, like, there are a lot, the performance is really weird. Like, you could still do a game like this and still deal with, like, performance issues. And not just because of being dumb, just because, like, there's a minimum overhead for certain technologies. So good. I think it's still coming up sometimes in the press. He just got another review either this morning or yesterday. They're all good reviews. There's not a lot of stuff on here. Let's see, this is the Xbox one. There's only one review here. I guess this is the one he saw. That one's 50, that one's 80. PC is the one that has the most. Oh, that's weird. There was a score on here. Maybe it's a different name. Okay, this is the one. I mean, its primary platform was iOS, so 81, right? It's not based on a whole lot, but still. Pretty good. Let's see, I guess I'll leave this on here for later. Create grass test. so that's that asset. Let's look at some of these others. Got a robo bird here. Looks more like a bird than a robo bird. Got the attack shrub roots. Let's look at these vines. See, these look like they're designed to come down, but it would be nice to have vines actually going across. That's a little bit more work. And this is tall grass, but could work as a billboard maybe. Let's see here. And we could do it as a billboard, or we could do it as a kind of cross intersection. I'm not sure what'll look best. That's true. Plain across the top with the grass texture. I mean, the grass texture is a tile. We can just tile the grass texture on the ceiling. I just don't know if it'll read as like vines going across the ceiling. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like do the dark parts. Yeah, that's interesting. Or maybe even the light parts. So it's only dark parts. Right. You'd have the vines hanging as well. So we could do, actually there's a handful of ways we could do this tall grass. We could do it as a billboard, so it'll always follow you. But when there's a bunch of them, that'll be kind of weird, because they'll always, they'll all be looking at you. We could do them as the outside of a box, so it's just the edges, but that's not that different than just having a flat sprite in the middle of a unit. Or, kind of control the direction depending on, or we could create an X and then place them as a unit. And that's pretty standard, but I just don't know if it'll kind of read the right way, like, because tall grass you kind of think of as like more of a bush, right? So We'll have to see, I guess. I guess I could do one of each, and then decide. So I'll play with this tall grass next. Kind of putting off the boss. I don't know why. Warming up to it, I guess. Yeah, if it's going to tile, it needs to go to the edge, and I believe it does. But that's exactly why I think doing a cross isn't necessarily going to work. Like, that works better if it is a bush, and it's sort of like a single unit. We'll see. We'll try a bunch. We'll see how it goes. I guess we can call this... This is really more environment. This is... I guess decoration. Alright. So it could very well just be positional. Let me try and get this into a more grid shape. So this could either be the edge or the center of a tile, and just position it in certain directions. Alternatively, do something like this. We could do both, really, depending on the situation. Add some variation. Like this as a standalone, and this for certain areas. Yeah. How do you mean? Do you mean like this? There's also the idea that we could do something like yeah. We could do something like this as well. No, not that. Maybe offset it by half the... And those are really the two options. I don't think doing the billboard is gonna be a great option, but I'll do that one just for reference. No, it's just this one. We could edit this one, or we just get Paul to edit this one. Let's see how this looks in game, I guess. Actually, I'm going to restart Unity. Oh, you could probably use use the vines upside down as well. Whoops, wrong way. Why did I put it in the boss room? Oh, we got that fucking depth shit going on. I should be able to fix that. Yeah, billboard is useless. That is shitty grass. If I fix this, this is like an okay bush or single standalone area. And this works pretty okay. Like have more of these go back. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Their colors kind of make them hard to tell apart, so I think the depth helps a little bit from making it kind of muddy. There's that effect there in the middle. It's kind of not. Some weird artifact there. From a distance, they look like kind of one unit already. They don't really need to be much closer. Yeah, that's I'm afraid it's either going to look too geometrically placed, right? Or too kind of messy, random, like that's my concern with that. Because you'll see exactly the placement of the bottom, like if you go and look. So I don't want to like like try too hard. But maybe something like closing this end or something. I don't know. I like them kind of ending offset like this. I don't know. Let me see if I can fix this. It's broken in a different way. What's the Unity shader language? Shader lab. Where do I get a reference? Predefined shader preprocessor. Compile directives. Transparency alpha testing. Takes multi-compiled fog. Blending. about their fucking lighting? Properties. Properties. Name and tags. Fubins, I got a couple of things for you to look at. Pre-multiplied. Blend 1, 1. Try that. Nope. So there's 3 ways to kind of set up the tall grass. This one's kind of new as a no-go, doing a billboard sprite. It's dumb. Doing kind of an X thing is good for like a standalone thing. It's almost like a bush. We got some kind of shader stuff to figure out because it kind of like doesn't render the stuff behind it very well. But in general, it seems like, oh, if we wanted to place like a single thing somewhere, that works okay. And then here's kind of doing them as a row, which is maybe what you were imagining. I did 2 layers that were offset just to kind of make it more interesting. And obviously you could kind of do more of these and make it more like a field. But this is how it looks. So wanted to know your thoughts. If you kind of imagined it differently. I can remove one of these so you can see what it is with just one. I mean, you can do both for different situations. That's what I'm saying. And create prefabs for each, and just kind of place them where it feels right, right? Like if there's a long stretch, you know, then doing them flat would work. In the cases where they're just little patches, doing the X would work. Potentially some combination, I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, actually, here's a. I think this is a better version of this shader. Where is it? The default. I think this is less noticeable. There's still an issue with it. If you can see where it kind of like renders the other one on top of the other. But if you don't look hard, you don't really notice that. And I think, you know, there's a way to resolve this. This probably looks better than the other one. Yeah. Potentially even a grid of them tilted so they're kind of like X's in a row instead of pluses in a row. Or we could do either one. It might depend on, you know, how we get this to look. But yeah. So you like the X. I think if you were to do a row of them as pluses, it might not look good because it would kind of look like a row with a bunch of crosses, you know. And then in certain situations we can do this. Yeah. It might help to actually have some variation if you wanted to do either different heights, or I could try flipping the vines upside down. Here I actually did the back row flipped, but it might be good to have some other variation. So maybe one or two variations of the tall grass would be helpful. And I can actually create the prefabs to randomize as they're placed, so it just kind of automatically places the variations. The other thing to show you is the crate overlay, how that turned out. So this is, I said tile size, which was 16 by 16. Because of the distortion, it actually almost comes out to double the resolution, at least when it's at an angle. So I'll show you that. If they can show their fucking... Oh, I'm playing. So this is how that looks. The single pixels are projected at an angle, so it almost looks like they're 2 pixels high. So if you wanted, you could do like a 32 by 32 and compensate for that by kind of doing 32 by 32 and doing 2 wide and 1 tall, and that'll kind of compensate to give a 1 by 1 on the sides. And then because of the angles, you might want to exaggerate going at angles a little bit more, because it kind of looks like it just goes straight, especially because they're distorted long. And then you can probably even put some grass in there, put some grass at the center, so that it would kind of put grass on the top or something, or on parts of these. When it's projected straight down, it'll be the right dimensions, so you don't have to distort the middle. I figure it's something we can kind of play with until it looks right. I mean, this is okay, but it could probably be better. I think the distortion sort of makes it look simpler than it's intended, or like not as I don't know what the word is, but I took some screenshots so that you can kind of work with those. So you can kind of get an idea for the distortion and where the position of stuff is. So I can email you these. But I still think there's potential there, so. Probably no matter what you mean, the answer is probably no. Shrinking it down. Yeah, that's what I said. If you were to do, because this is actually a fixed size, so if you just double the resolution, you'd have more control. I'd say, yeah, just double the resolution. And you could quadruple the resolution if you wanted. You just have to compensate for it. But I think if you double the resolution, you'd have enough control to kind of make up for the distortion. As long as you kind of know which parts of it are actually being projected down, because those will be kind of pixel perfect. It's only here, so this is like 2 pixels tall, so the third pixel in is flat, and I think these are like, I think this is, yeah, the middle is like 4 by 4 pixels. But yeah. Okay to this message. No, that'll just cut it off. Basically, whatever's, the box is sort of like the bounding area for where it will project. So if I were to shrink the box, height, it would, actually, let me confirm that, because I might be able to, no, because that's, yeah, scale, basically. Oh, that's easy. Yeah. So I can do it, right, it's going to scale it to this size for kind of the width and height, but for the actual height, it's not going to scale it. I would just do like 32 by 32. And then in the middle, that would be 8 by 8 in the, if you want to do something right here, that would be 8 by 8 when it's 32 by 32. And, you know, all that. So if you can just kind of make a guide or something like that that has kind of the top-down shape of the kind of the square in the middle and the X, and then just know that in this direction you want to do things half the pixel width, in this direction half the pixel height, etc. I mean, it's almost like it is a UV map, where, because, you know, UV maps can stretch stuff, so just imagine that it is stretching it there. I think actually doing it with a UV map would be a lot more work. So anyway, that's that, and that's the grass. We'll kind of play with this depth thing a little bit, and then do some more experiments there. But some kind of like, if you could do a variation for the grass, that would be pretty cool. So that's about that. Let's see, I'm gonna try and try some different actually, I'll just Google. Cut out. Let's try putting this back on. These. So I can actually mess with them. That didn't seem to help. Huh. Oh. Okay. Probably do want unlit cutout. The problem then is making sure they render both sides. Oh, now these render underneath that. But let's see on the transparent cut. Cut out shader unity. Discard. Is that a... What's interesting is not particularly... let me do this now. It doesn't really need any of these tags, does it? I just need to do this. I guess I'll do cutoff. I mean, really, it's just like pretty much hard-coded. But it's double-sided. Let's see, where does this go? In the pass or in the... There we go. And then we need to change the order. There we go. There we go. God. You failed me too many times. Alright, so that fixes that shader business. Tiles. They are tiles though, so. Let's play with some of the placement of these. Like maybe this first room. foliage. I won't be able to positionally rotate them as strongly. I can only do 90-degree increments. Well, it's kind of Minecraft, but not entirely. Cold Zero, hello. Welcome. I think it is actually decidedly not Minecraft, but I can see how it looks similar. Oh, that's true. You did not say that. Yeah, it reminds me of it too, actually. But I mean, any pixelated 3D stuff is gonna make you think of Minecraft. Actually, let me get this out of the way here. That's actually, they're pretty close, right? Let's see here. I'm gonna try the X stuff, but I'm gonna have to do it in the prefab. That didn't work. I guess I'll have to do it on this sub. Thanks. 2011. I don't know. Fubins would know. I guess I could just do 45. And then this would be negative 45. Maybe you're thinking of Madhouse. Fubins, when was Madhouse? So this is doing 45-degree angle. If we wanted them to touch, we'd have to make them bigger. We could also do them as pluses. It didn't look too bad. If you want to see that, Fubins, I can maybe do two versions of it. Or maybe this room does the rows. I don't know. Fubins, what do you think of this? Madhouse 3D. Fubins, should this change? I could do something different, or maybe this is good. Yeah, I'll have to resize them, because putting them at an angle, right, changes their, if they were pluses, it would look different. If they were touching, it'd probably be better. And I think the X's would be better than pluses, as long as they were touching. Let me see if I can do that. I understand. This will also make them bigger. Just gonna distort their pixel size though. But I guess at least we can test to see that it'll look okay with the stitching, cross-hatching. Fubins, let me know when you're back. What do you mean? So the same side isn't always seen looking down the row. Looking down the row. Oh. Like, because you can see the points there. Okay, Fubins, these are bigger. That's how I made them touch. So I don't know if you want to leave them bigger, if that's fine, because it is kind of cool. They're actually tall now, but there is like, the resolution is a little bit off pixel-wise. Definitely randomize the rotation here. You like it larger like this? I think I do too. If as long as you're comfortable with the pixel resolution being larger, or the pixel size being larger, this is definitely more interesting than pluses, and more interesting than rows. And if you gave me some variations, it would probably look even better, right? Because this looks pretty repetitive, and if I rotate them like Rain suggested, that'll help a little, but it'll still look fairly repetitive. So if there is at least one more variation, well, that's good to hear. We're on the right track. Cool, cool, cool. I mean, this will work up against walls too. It's pretty versatile. You can use them in rows, you can use them up against walls, you can use them standalone. It's kind of cool to run through them. So rotation and like lowering some of them about 1 pixel down. I don't think I could do maybe 1 to 2 pixels. Yeah, let me try that. Let's see. Tall grass, tall grass. So this can be tall grass 1. Maybe I should just tall grass. Tall grass 1. think the tile editor supports random rotation. Is that right? Tiles. Ooh, random rotation. So I can turn that on, and then I won't have to create prefabs that are rotated. I can just do different ones for the height. I mean, I'm streaming at 2.5 megabits. So, yeah, I imagine if your down is less than that, then you're gonna get some buffering. And then the delay is maybe something that they added to help remove the delay. Or added to help prevent the buffering, right? Because it's going to buffer more and then play. I could actually, next stream I'll lower to just 2 because I don't think I need 2.5. Like, I think 2 at a high resolution. God damn it. Oh, it worked. Let's see if this works. There we go, we got some variation. Looks better. Got height variation, rotation variation. Even though rotation is really just two, it rotates between 4 cardinal directions, but because they're just 2 sprites, it's 2 variations. But then I did 3 different height variations, so I think that probably works out. Pete Cooper, thank you for following. If you're watching, you should say hi in chat. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. Look, it's Pete Cooper, everybody. Welcome. Alright, I'm done staring at these. Alright, I lied. Alright, I'll place more now. Pete Cooper. Oh, these are gonna be fun. Tiles. Did I place these on the right ones? Okay. I think there's a pretty short video of Madhouse on YouTube. That is. On the top of the walls. What silhouette? You're talking about the white or the lighter part? And we're talking about adding some ceiling foliage that actually goes across the top, but oh, that right there? I don't know. You're talking about the pixel line or this whole top part? Oh, this is getting cool. I think our ceiling stuff will kind of help break it up. Just don't know how that'll look yet. I kind of want to put these more places. Like this room doesn't have any, but fuck, I think it should have some. Put it in the corners. Put it everywhere. A little variation. I don't think Poopin's realized how good it would be. Let's see. Yeah, I actually put these guys a little bit closer in because you really can't put enemies like that close. It just feels weird. It's an FPS, sort of. I don't know, it's weird. I'll do it this way. It's a little different. Also, none in this room? That's crazy. Man, I gotta come back to that room. That needs some careful, natural placement. What do we got? We got nothing here. Filling up these guys. Hella tall grass. It's mostly combat, but it's pretty... There's definitely some puzzles and exploration. Kind of learning the map. That's not obvious. There. Some other obvious placements. Ooh, this whole back section is grass. That's cool. That's a shit ton. And it comes out. I can't put that one there. Very particular placement here. Oh yeah. I feel like we can't add too much in these. Huh, this room came out a little different. I wonder if I just couldn't do that. I don't have this power up yet. I mean, I feel like we should go crazy with this stuff, but I'll leave it at this and go through. I think that's everything. Alright, hopefully we get editor overhead is not ridiculous. Fubins, come watch if you're not. See if this is how you imagined it. I put some extra ones in this room. Oh. Oh shit. Ah, I can just kill things, I forgot. This room definitely needs some. Hey, did this room... Oh, I forgot to get rid of that tile. Oh, I don't want to go back there. It's crazy in here. Let's see. That's awesome. Yeah, I like that room. I think there's a little bit of both. I mean, this game definitely is... Ooh, this is awesome. You know, retro spirited, and has that kind of like abstract game world where you can get away with certain symmetries and stuff like that, which is cool. What am I doing? I love things can hide in the grass. But yeah, it's interesting. And if Ubens was here, so we could see all this, he might agree that it would be good to A, add more, and B, maybe randomize it a little bit more. But I'm also pretty okay with like this kind of perfect symmetrical placement. I think Fubens is into that aesthetic as well. But we can definitely do more with more. For sure. Like this room, I feel like we could fill up with a bunch of kind of random chunks. Like maybe not as random placed as the crates, but as evenly distributed, but like a couple of blocks, you know. Yeah, I figured. Like, it's almost weird to see a room without any grass, you know? Like this one, you had no grass in here, but I added this grass, and I'm like, I think I like this. Alright, this is really cool. This is a cool room. Feels like this is a very kind of like overgrown back area, you know? It probably could grow on the brown, but I don't know. I think we might want to overdo it. Not like overdo it, but just do it a little more. Like the rooms without it just kind of feel a little bit more bare, but at the same time, like even just a little patch like that, you know, helps. I mean, I can try and place some in the rooms that there aren't any. Just touch it up a bit with some more grass. Wow. That's true. That's a good point. But, I mean, it makes it more foresty, right? Right. So I thought it would be cool if the ceiling wasn't a ceiling, but we actually had like vine, sort of like tiles. So not just coming down, but like partial ceiling tiles covering part of the ceiling. Not even the majority of it. They're definitely smaller than they were, and they're definitely the same proportion as everything else now. They're definitely smaller. I think they're pretty good now. A little preview of crate overgrowth. Ooh, and obviously we can randomize. The cool thing is because of their projections, we can randomize the projection rotation. So the crates will still be consistent, but the overlay will I mean, obviously we have to make them get destroyed with the crate, or we get weird shit like that, but this is super cool. Oh, totally. There's totally assets from the asset store here, but mostly not the art. Rewired, what's it called? I think it's just called TIGL3D. It's a tile editor. A lot of the models were made with Saber, CSG. Actually, I can probably just go to list here. Some of the models were done with Pro Builder, but I think most of them have been redone in Saber. Vortex, what the fuck is this? I mean, some miscellaneous things from the asset store. So yeah, like tools and scripts and stuff. The art, because you're new here, hello, Haida, I'm gonna let you fix my pronunciation, but it's based on an existing 2D game that Fubin's made, so we kind of have a lot of the art, but we're making new art, like this grass. That's a good point. We can remove the particles for the spiders. I didn't tune those. It's just the same as the normal explosions, so, which is also just a variation of the box explosion, which I never felt like was perfect, but was kind of like good enough. So we could come back to those when we. But you're probably right. We can get rid of the particles for the spiders. pretty happy with this grass situation. Just add a little bit more. Oh, I can get rid of this tile down here. What layer is that on? Floors, grass. Here we go. Yeah, we'll mess with the particles at some point. This one's a little hard because of the half stuff. Turn those decals on. That might even be too much for that room, but let's see. Haida, thanks for following. Oh, this could be interesting. Potentially obstruct this door. We didn't do any that surround the swamp. Let's see. No, this is the first swamp. That's swamp over there. Maybe the one room where it's coming out of the brown is the this room. I like the idea of these like more overgrown rooms. Stash cat. Is that a cat with a mustache? Welcome. Cyber clock. What is that? All right. Hopefully I didn't overdo it. But I think that's a lot better. I almost want this room to have a little bit more. Maybe just like okay, I'll stop now. Let's try it out. Anyway, Stash Cat, welcome. Are you a game developer? How'd you find this channel? I'll get rid of those, oh, this is saved. This is kind of cool. Maybe do another row. Yeah. Actually, I like this because it obscures your view of the sliders. Ugh. And kind of pushes you closer to the swamp, or makes the non-swamp areas feel tighter, like you have less room, but you have the same amount of room. Alright, I don't want to go overboard, I'll stop there. This is a neat, a neat room. Ah, they climb on each other. I don't know how they started doing that. Alrighty, Fubins. Okay, just a couple changes will make me feel better about this. You as in your grass is taking over. Upper plane. Yeah, I think so. There's one other thing. Oh, yeah. All right. Boss rule out to figure out as we get the boss in here, but I'm gonna put just like a couple. probably it. Just a little bit. I feel like I added too much, but it feels good. Well, I don't think I'm getting anything done I wanted to do today. Object pool for bullets. Did it. Realized I didn't want to do it. Should be doing my log though. Object pool. Create. Overlay. Grass. I could do the boss. It's what I was supposed to do today. Just getting caught up in these little things. Okay. Let's look at our boss assets. Fucking hole opens up on this tree. I might want to combine these. And then it attacks you with these roots. I want to add some brown to these. And then birds fly out. Hey Phubins, do you maybe want to add some brown to the root attack? Differentiate it more from the grass and make it feel maybe more roots-like. Well, I've probably been looking at them for 5 minutes. Robo Bird. It's a billboard. Probably gonna buffer. I kind of don't want to get started on this because it's already 8. I should probably the vines. Oh, fuck. Right when you asked the question. Well, I'm probably gonna call it a day anyway. It's 8. And I don't want to get started on this. But I might work on it on the weekend. I don't know. I thought I was going to take next week off, but I'll probably actually work next week. And so the next thing I do will probably be the boss. But yeah, I might do some audio production stuff tomorrow. Work on some metal. But Paul, I think the only thing I had to say was that it might be worth putting some brown into the root attack to differentiate it from the vines and the grass and kind of make it feel more like roots. Some of the trees, brown colors. But I can still use this for now. Yeah, I've got old, not old enough that they're gonna snap, but some pretty old strings. All right, it's settled then. I'm gonna work on this probably Monday, probably not during the weekend, but yeah, I mean they're roots, so maybe, maybe mostly brown with a little bit of green. Yeah. But hey, there's a Discord. There's a link on the channel page. And so you can talk during the weekend. Cool. We got a couple more people in here. Rain, I'll see what I can do about this. I'll read this after I stop the stream here, but everybody else, I'll see you maybe this weekend doing something else, but otherwise I'll see you next week. Later.